Welcome to the kitchen. Today we're gonna make a gluten-free chicken and wild rice casserole. So we just made the chicken wild rice casserole and we were using the condensed cream of mushroom soup by Campbell's. Now the problem is that when you read the ingredients, of course, there's wheat in it. That's the thickener. So in order to make this recipe gluten-free, we need to make a gluten-free bechamel. So we are doing the gluten-free bechamel sauce on a different video, so make sure you check that out. But we're gonna make that separately, and then we'll incorporate it into this recipe, which is a wonderful recipe. It comes from one of my mom's 1970 casserole cookbooks, and she makes it for all of our holidays. And I'm just modernizing it and jazzing it up and giving it a little more life to make it even more incredible. So let me get my mise en place together, and I'll show you how to make our gluten-free version of our chicken and wild rice recipe. Subscribe to our YouTube channel so we can bring you more recipes. Thank you. In my pot, I have 1 3/4 cups of water and 1 tablespoon of olive oil. We're gonna bring that to a boil, then we're gonna add in all of our rice. Cook it according to the directions on the box, which are to cover it, and this is my cover since I don't have an actual cover for this pot, because I use a frying pan to cover it. And then we're gonna cook it for 25 to 30 minutes until all of the moisture has absorbed. We have a rapid boil. I'm going to sprinkle in the rice mixture and then the seasoning packet. Get that in. Just going to stir it up a little bit. Shaking the pan and then cover it and set the timer for 25 minutes. Here it is, done. And you just take a fork and fluff it up. And we'll just let that cool. So we're going to let that cool, and while it's cooling, we're going to continue doing our preparation. Our wild rice has cooled off, and now we're getting ready. I've got our large saucepan, a wooden spoon here, and here's the rest of our mise en place. We have our 2 cups of cubed cooked chicken. This was the Herbe de Provence chicken breast that was left over. Our 1/2 cup of sour cream, 1/4 cup of chicken broth, 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, our 3/4 of a teaspoon of curry powder, 2 teaspoons of fresh thyme, our gluten-free bechamel, olive oil, onions, celery, mushrooms, and the canned mushrooms. The canned mushrooms and the bechamel are replicating the cream mushroom soup, the Campbell's cream of mushroom soup that's in the original recipe, but since we have to make a gluten-free bechamel because this does have gluten in it, this will substitute for the mushrooms that are in the canned soup. So our first task is that we're going to start sauteing our onions, then we'll add the celery and mushrooms. I'm going to get 2 tablespoons of olive oil in our saucepan and get that going. Now the parsley is just for a garnish. That will be on the end, just to garnish it, give it a nice little color. I wanted flat parsley, but I was unable to get it, so this is curly parsley. So either flat or curly, it's fine. And if you don't even get that, that's fine. You could just garnish it with some fresh thyme at the end. The oil's nice and hot. We're gonna get our onions in, and we're gonna saute those until they're light golden on the edge. We're beginning to get a nice golden brown color on the edges, so we're gonna add in our celery and stir that in, and we just wanna wait until the celery gets a bit tender, and then we'll add in our mushrooms. So maybe 1 minute. Now we're gonna add in our baby Bella mushrooms. White button mushrooms are fine too. I just happen to personally prefer all these baby Bella mushrooms. I love them. After your mushrooms have sauteed and they've gotten much smaller, as you can see, so it's about 5 minutes of letting this saute on low. We're now going to add in our bechamel, which cooled and got very thick. So don't worry about how thick it is right now, because you're adding in the chicken stock and the apple cider vinegar. That will help thin it out. So we're going to add that, get that all in, and add in our chicken broth. Stir that together. This looks so beautiful, and it smells wonderful as well. And we're gonna add in our sour cream, get that in, and our apple cider vinegar. We'll stir all of this together, and I've reduced the heat to low. Okay, so now we're gonna add in our curry powder, 3/4 of a teaspoon, and our fresh thyme. 2 teaspoons. Get that stirred in. Look how beautiful this is. This is so wonderful. I cannot wait to eat it, and it smells divine. Now I'm gonna add in the canned mushrooms. Actually, I probably should call this chicken, mushroom, and wild rice casserole. And then here is our 2 cups of cubed cooked chicken breast, and this was the leftovers from our Herbe de Provence chicken breast. So this is gonna be incredible. So we're gonna stir all of this together, and once it's gotten completely mixed in, we're gonna add it into our baking dish. Once everything is mixed in, now we're gonna add in our wild rice. Now that it's completely mixed in, I'm gonna pour it into our baking dish, and then we're gonna bake it in the oven at 350 for 35 minutes.
Beautiful chicken and wild rice casserole out of the oven. It's actually kind of hot. And I'm just gonna serve some for you. You can see how beautiful this is. Absolutely delicious. And we wanna garnish it with a little bit of our chopped parsley. It smells wonderful. I can't wait to eat it. I hope you enjoyed watching and learning how to make this. Please make it at home and check out all of our videos on our YouTube channel. Again, this is our gluten-free chicken and wild rice casserole. Thank you.
For more recipe demonstrations, please click like and subscribe to Chef Victoria Loves YouTube channel and have fun in the kitchen. Thank you.